This is Mr. Garrison. He is a first-year teacher, fresh from graduating university. He is beginning his new job at North Park Public School, a predominantly middle-class suburban school. Mr. Garrison has been given a tricky Year 3 class that contains students with a wide range of learning needs, backgrounds and academic abilities. Since arriving at the school, Mr. Garrison has been warned by several teachers about a young, ill child named Ibrahim. One discussion in particular stood out to Mr. Garrison as the teacher exclaimed, "Ibrahim comes from a rough family, and he's never going to amount to anything. Watch out for Ibrahim, he's naughty, he can't control his emotions, and is unmotivated." The teacher went on to say, "You can't blame him. Both his parents are in jail, and he's currently living with his 74-year-old grandma." The staff member continued, "You'll be lucky if he remembers to write his name. Just do your best to keep him quiet and end the class." This is a clear example of deficit discourse, as the staff members at North Park Public School labelled Ibrahim as naughty and dumb. Additionally, they portrayed his upbringing, low socio-economic standings, and parents' criminal history as inevitable determinants of his future success. This clear deficit discourse leads to a negative association with Ibrahim among both students and teachers alike, further limiting the school's as well as his own expectations of himself. Mr. Garrison doesn't let the staff's negative attitudes and warnings of Ibrahim affect his judgment, as he is aware of the theory of the self-fulfilling prophecy. Mr. Garrison is aware that students are able to pick up on the expectations, opinions, and ways in which staff members act around certain students. Mr. Garrison therefore theorises that many of Ibrahim's behavioural issues are a case of teachers eliciting Ibrahim's fulfilment of these expectations. In order to provide Ibrahim with the best chance of being successful in his class, Mr. Garrison met with the stage AP and the school's deputy principal, both of whom are highly qualified teachers and have a good rapport with Ibrahim. Within the meeting, they discussed the ways that Mr. Garrison can support learners with exceptional needs in his classroom, specifically focusing on Ibrahim. Ibrahim is an EOD student who enjoys maths, sports, and hands-on activities, but struggles with literacy, in particular reading and spelling. It is noted that a majority of Ibrahim's issues stem from the playground, as other students know that he gets easily worked up, which leads to Ibrahim becoming aggressive, violent, and swearing at both teachers and students. The three teachers determined that it is crucial for Mr. Garrison to develop a respectful and professional and caring relationship with Ibrahim, and let him know that he is not going to let the perceptions of other people affect the way he treats him. Mr. Garrison also aims to get to know Ibrahim and how he learns, as well as the contents within his virtual school bag, so that he can create engaging, fun, and flexible learning experiences, programs, and units, whereby he incorporates key interests, skills, and knowledge so as to provide Ibrahim with the best chance to develop as a learner. Over the next few weeks, Mr. Garrison begins to develop a strong relationship with Ibrahim. This allows Mr. Garrison to unpack the contents of Ibrahim's virtual school bag, which allows Mr. Garrison to begin the process of planning learning experiences that are tailored to Ibrahim's needs. Mr. Garrison finds out that Ibrahim has a deep love of sports, in particular rugby league, which he uses as an escape from his troubled upbringing. Mr. Garrison also finds out through rugby league, Ibrahim has a very good memory and is exceptional with numbers, especially when it comes to naming player statistics. In addition, Ibrahim has a great sense of humour and uses humour to cover up how he is feeling at times. Although Ibrahim is seen as a tough and naughty kid, he is also extremely empathetic and compassionate to all students with similar upbringings and the students with learning needs or disabilities. The three teachers meet again to plan turnaround pedagogies in order to effectively implement them in conjunction with Ibrahim's virtual school bag to maximise his motivation and engagement while simultaneously combating the deficit discourse. The three teachers identified the areas that are crucial to Ibrahim's success at school. That is, the classroom behaviour management as well as his literacy capacities. They come up with the following solutions to best meet the needs of Ibrahim. First, Mr. Garrison engages in professional development and research, whereby he is upskilled in how to effectively implement Bill Rogers' behaviour model, as this is the school's behavioural plan, focused on reconstructing Ibrahim's behaviour in a positive manner. During literacy rotations, Mr. Garrison incorporates references to sport, in particular rugby league, and frequent hands-on activities and movement breaks. Ibrahim is given his own school iPad with text-to-speech applications to allow him to fully engage in the literacy. As an extrinsic reward, if Ibrahim is successful at staying out of trouble in the playground and completes his work in the classroom, Mr. Garrison will join in a rugby league game during lunchtime with Ibrahim. Within a matter of weeks of accessing Ibrahim's virtual school bag and implementing turnaround pedagogies, Mr. Garrison and the whole school have seen a noticeable improvement in Ibrahim's attitude towards schooling. His attendance has improved dramatically, he isn't getting involved in any major playground issues, and is really applying himself during class time, particularly in regards to the literacy session. The deficit discourse that was prevalent among staff had been disrupted, instead replaced with positive views and expectations of Ibrahim, thus encouraging his learning development and social growth. Ibrahim is no longer hindered by the limits staff place on him. Many staff members begin to make comments on how Ibrahim has become a new student. However, Mr. Garrison and the executive staff members knew that this wasn't a new kid, but finally he had a teacher that knew how to best support and nurture his skills to allow him to reach his maximum potential.